Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a little video covering some of the little upgrades, or side grades I should say, to a lot of the new versions of mice that have already been on the market. You guys can see I've got a lot of the Pulsar mice. I'm kind of addicted to these. The Demon Slayer mice just look so good with their respective paint jobs. I've got the Zenitsu, the Shinobu, the Muzan, which unfortunately is not available for the public. But the Demon Slayer versions of the mice just have noticeably better build quality. The coating is probably my favorite coating on the market right now, next to the Smooth Touch. And the overall button tensioning, the button feel, is far superior to the original versions of these mice, both the X2V2 Mini, the X2H Mini. The paint job, though, really is something that needs to be admired. It looks really good, and there isn't a feeling of any of this being raised from the mouse. If there is, it's ever so slightly minor. Nothing that you can really feel abruptly when touching the mouse. The Muzan version, actually, surprisingly, with the flames, you can feel it a little bit, but I don't feel it on the Zenitsu or the Shinobu. I do think that overall, the build quality here, I mean, these mice are perfect. I have barely any pre-travel or post-travel on mouse 4 or mouse 5 on my X2H Shinobu, and the button tensioning mouse 1, mouse 2, the best that the Pulsar opticals have ever felt. The pre-travel is non-existent, and post-travel is literally non-existent on mouse 1 and a little bit on mouse 2 on my Shinobu. On the Zenitsu, the buttons don't feel quite as good as the Shinobu. It's a little bit thockier, presumably because of the way the mouse sits. But overall, again, there is just a tiny bit of pre-travel on mouse 1 and mouse 2, and post-travel is almost non-existent. Mouse 4 and mouse 5, some of the best that I have felt to date, with just a little bit of post-travel towards the bottom of mouse 4. So overall, the aesthetic, the build quality, I think is just superior to a lot of the Pulsar stuff on the market right now. The coating really does make a massive difference, in my opinion. I think it's probably the best coating on the market right now. Now, getting to the Deathadder V3 Smooth Touch, the unfortunate thing about this is this mouse is $160. If you already have a Deathadder V3, it's hard to ever tell you guys to run out and buy this mouse. But the mouse has a similar coating to the Deathadder V3 wired 8K. And a lot of people were very upset about that release because the coating just feels superior to the original Deathadder V3, which felt almost like a PBT keycap. This is very buttery smooth, and it feels quite rubberized. It is, I think, one of the best coatings on the market. It's actually very addicting to use, and arguably somebody could prefer it over the Demon Slayer coating, but both are very good. And it's unfortunate that you can't get this mouse without the additional 8K dongle, because a lot of us already have hyperpolling dongles. It would have been nice if this released a little bit cheaper, but what I can say is that the build quality on this copy is impeccable. Pre and post travel, there's a little bit of pre-travel, and I mean a very minor bit of pre-travel on mouse 1 and mouse 2. Post travel is almost non-existent, and mouse 4 and mouse 5 are probably the most buttoned up on a Razer mouse that I have felt to date. Only a tiny bit of post travel towards the top of mouse 4. Otherwise, the buttons are almost perfect. The skates are okay, and depending on the pad, of course, they feel better or worse, depending on the pad that you swap to. But there is no side flex on the mouse at all, and hopefully it stays that way. Supposedly, the side flex issue is supposed to be fixed on this copy. But the main star of the show, and what just feels like it makes the original minced meat, is that coating. The Smooth Touch coating, I really can't stress enough, feels so damn good and addicting to use that I would never go back to my original Deathadder V3 or my Faker, which I no longer use because it did develop that side flex issue. And the coating, I'm telling you, is so far superior on this mouse that if you're looking into getting a Deathadder V3, I would definitely recommend getting the Smooth Touch, as long as your budget can afford for it. The 8K performance has been phenomenal. I haven't actually had any hiccups at all on 8K. So I'm actually very happy with the performance, but even with my Demon Slayer mice on 1K, I can't say that I'm performing any better on the Deathadder V3 Smooth Touch. My main mouse right now, just so you guys know, is the X2H Mini Shinobu. The coating mixed with the click feel and the overall build quality. I have the TJ exclusive skates on, which do work on the Riz as well as hard pads. hopefully, and I'm trying to examine over time if it damages the pad in any way, but so far this combination has been my best performing combo this season in Apex. I love the design, and the overall build improvements here across the board just feel absolutely phenomenal. So the Deathadder is definitely going up in my rankings. It just feels so good with the smooth touch. I just wish it released like this originally. So guys, I just wanted to do that little overview because I do feel like if you've been on the edge for any of these, so far the build quality on the Demon Slayer mice, it is some of the best from Pulsar that I've felt. And the smooth touch Deathadder, it performs awesome so far in 8K for me. And that coding is just so damn addicting. So really nice job from both Pulsar and Razer. Again, you just have to pay attention to the pricing. At least the Demon Slayer mice, even with the badass designs, are about the same as the original mice. The Deathadder, I think I paid $160 for this. It's just a little hefty for something, especially that's already been on the market for quite a while. But again, the improvements are just so noticeably good that it's, again, quite addicting to use again. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Just wanted to do a little bit of an overview. If anybody's been on the fence, again, these mice are fantastic. I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.